I'm Better Call Chad, and today we're going to talk about centipede grass. Now, if you like my videos, please like, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments, and check me out at bettercallchad.com for more information and to reach out to me. Now let's get right into this video. Now, centipede grass is actually very well known for its heat tolerance and its low maintenance. But to reap those benefits, centipede grass relies on certain climates and soils to truly thrive. Now, with that climate and soil, it mainly can only grow in the southeast because it likes that hot, warm climate, and it only can grow in acidic soils. Now, centipede has great heat tolerance, but that doesn't really mean it's perfectly great on drought stress. That's why still it's only in the southeast, because it relies on a lot of that rainfall, even though it is heat tolerant. With all that hot southern sun, you still need the rainfall to help that grass thrive. And that's because centipede has a pretty shallow root system compared to your St. Augustine, Zoysia, Bermuda, and other grass types. Even though it still does get drought stress, a huge benefit is it actually recovers extremely well from drought stress. Now, a strange thing about centipede is it actually doesn't really truly go dormant in the winter like our other warm season grasses. But because it doesn't really go dormant, that means it's susceptible to stress in the winter time. So when those really cold temperatures come through, you're gonna see a lot of red and yellowing on the grass blades. It's going to extremely stress it because it's not in a dormant state. And too many cold freezes and frosts can actually do damage to the centipede grass. Now, centipede grass is one of the slowest growers of the warm season turf grass. It grows similar to St. Augustine, where it creeps across the grass with those stems and stolons that kind of creeps across, and as they grow and fill in, you get that thick grass look. Centipede, like most warm season grasses, like St. Augustine, does not do well in high traffic. Now, you have to be careful when treating for weeds in centipede grass, because a lot of the weed controls we use for Bermuda, Zoysia, and St. Augustine cannot actually be used on centipede. So you really need to make sure when you're buying these products, you need to make sure you see centipede grass on the label, because a lot of the herbicides that are commonly used can stress and damage centipede. Now, a good thing with pre-emergence is you want to treat it like the rest of the warm season turf grass. You want to be applying it when soil temperatures hit around 55 degrees. It's going to be anywhere from January, February, and even into March, depending where you are, but that timing is going to be very similar with the other warm season turf grasses. Now, centipede grass likes to be mowed low, the opposite of St. Augustine here. We're talking 1.5 to 2 inches is the mow height you want to keep your centipede grass. Now, a big benefit, like other warm season grasses you can't do, is you can actually overseed centipede. And you want to do that when soil temperatures hit around 65 to 70 degrees, which is going to be your March, April time range. Make sure to check Greencast soil temperature map and make sure the soil temperatures in your area are above 65 to 70 before seeding. Springtime is going to be absolutely the best time to apply that seed. Now, with watering, you're going to water this the way you water all your warm season turf grass. Long times and less days. This does not change here. If you are in a warm season growing area, you're going to always be watering almost all your turf grasses long times and less days. That's going to be 30 to 50 minutes per full sun zone, and then anywhere from 2 to 3 days a week, depending on rainfall and sun and other factors like that. But that's always going to be the best way to water. And I would actually say it's a little bit more important with centipede because it's known to already have a pretty shallow root system. So by watering deep, you're forcing those roots to dive deeper. And with a grass that has a shallow root system, that's going to be extremely important. Now, centipede grass loves acidic soils, like 4.5 to 6. And this isn't extremely rare from all other grasses. And to be honest, it really needs this acidic soil to thrive. If you have a higher pH, you are going to struggle with centipede grass. And honestly, centipede grass is not going to be a good option where you're at. If you have a higher pH, then you can go with the St. Augustine, zoysias, Bermudas, other type of grasses. But centipede grass must have a 4.5 to 6 pH range to truly thrive. And you can buy a simple pH meter online for not that much money. I'll link it in here and check the pH. Now, the great news on the fertilization range, it's pretty much the exact same as St. Augustine. And I have plenty of videos about that, so you can check it out for more details. But you're gonna do a good spring fertilizations of like a 24-0-11, a 16-4-8 product like that. And then you're gonna spoon feed it through the summer with smaller amounts of nitrogen. And make sure you get iron and micronutrients in there. So this will follow the same program of St. Augustine grass, especially if you have sandy soil, you're gonna wanna use the higher nitrogen. If you have a more clay soil, you can use the lower amounts of nitrogen. But please check out my St. Augustine fertilization video for more information. Now, pest-wise, centipede does get all the fun pests, bill bugs, mole crickets, chinch bugs, sod webworms, all those. I would say less commonly than St. Augustine is the good news, but you still need to have a vast pest program to keep prevention and to make sure you keep the lawn healthy. Again, you can follow the exact same pest program as you would in St. Augustine grass. And you can check out my pest videos on St. Augustine grass for more details. Now, centipede is also going to have the same fungus issues of brown patch and gray leaf spot. I would say a little bit less than St. Augustine, but again, that really is going to depend on your area. So again, for fungus, you can follow the same thing you would as St. Augustine grass, and you can use all those same products. So on fertilization, pest, and fungus, the same for centipede goes the same for St. Augustine, so those two together blend. So if you see anything up on those about St. Augustine grass, you can follow them with centipede. The only thing that gets very different is going to be treating the weeds. You're going to make sure that the herbicide does have centipede grass. And then again, the most important is acidic soil. Guys, if you don't have acidic soil, I wouldn't even bother with centipede. There's many other grass options you can have here. But if you do have acidic soil, definitely go with centipede. It's a lower maintenance grass. When it's living in the proper climates with the proper soil, it can be a great choice. And that's gonna be it about centipede grass. Now, depending on the views and how much and comments and things like that is gonna be if I keep making centipede grass videos. If I get a lot of love here and a lot of questions and you guys want me to keep making centipede grass videos, please leave in the comments below and I'll go into deep dive videos and details about centipede grass. This is just my first one because I want to make sure I'm covering all the warm season grasses for everybody. Please like and subscribe and comment with any questions. I appreciate all the support. And check me out at bettercallchad.com. Everyone have a great rest of your day.